Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial, we have already finished the shirt and also the jacket. So for this time, we are going to do the pants and also the shoes. And I will leave the most complicated part about the hand part in the last. So let's take a look. First things, let's wipe out the notes right here. So first things, let's start with the pants. So how can we do with the pants? First things, let's hide the jacket first. As far as you can see, the pants supposed to be bigger than your shirt so that it will cover the movement of your shirts. Okay, so I will start with, again, I will start with a simple cube and move this one up. Okay, and scale it down a little bit, and we can scale it down in the Z directions. Press G and Z, move this one up. And you can turn on your shortcut viewer so that you will see your operations. And then move this one back. G and Y, move this one back. And S and Y, scaling down. Okay, so now let's start to do the typologies. So basically these pants is similar. They are symmetry one, symmetry geometries. But for this part, we can, once we finish the basic shape like this, we can start to delete the interface and create this kind of broken effect. So that's the things we are going to do. And if you think the shirt is too wide and it's too big, we still can change the shape right here. So we can go to here to change the geometries. Don't forget to turn on your symmetry operations. Okay, that's okay. S and X, so scaling down. And for this one as well. S and X, scaling down. Alright, so now let's start to do that. Go to Tab key, Ctrl R, cut this one into half, and I will delete another side. So choosing the face, delete the face. Alright, and go to Mirror and copy to another side. And go to Solid Mode and choosing the face. And for now, I'm going to delete the upper face. So let's choosing the upper face and press delete face. Okay, so now let's start to do the bottom part. So just press E and S for scaling down and EZ for extrusions. EZ for extrusion. Just directly go to the buttons. I think it will be fine. And also we can change a little bit about the middle part. If you remember, this is the joint, so we need to make sure it was in the right positions. Choosing the part here. Okay, so that's the overall length. Alright, so now let's start to do the typology stuff. So usually for this part, I think we need to increase the number of the segment. Hold on your Shift and Alt key, select the ring, and Ctrl B for bevel, and I think it's better for you to create 4 or 3 segments, and I will create 4. And scaling down here, press S key for scaling down. Alright, and also right here we need to change. So Ctrl R for increase the segment, probably around 4 will be quite enough. Okay, and go to the vertex mode, choosing the vertex in the middle, move this one down, and move this one down. Just like this. Go to the side view and change the geometry. Basically, this is we have to create just follow the anatomy to create the right shape. So it will look like this. Although it's a pants, but basically the shape of this pants will follow the geometry of your leg. So we need to make this one that has the right typologies. Okay. And if you think it's not enough, let's Ctrl R, create a middle sections, and press S and Y, enlarge the size in the middle. Okay. And for this part, we don't need that much, so let's deselect that and make this part become more flattened, just like this. Select the edge, select the vertex right here, and move them forward. And for this part as well, move them forward. Okay, just like this. Alright, so once you finish, we can use in Ctrl 1 to create a subdivision modifier. And we don't need the button face, so we can just go to Edit Mode, choosing the face in the button, and delete the face. Alright, so now we have the basic geometry. Let's take a look of the right side reference. So basically, I think this one, well, right here, because this part, it was totally connected. So in order to change that, I want to change a little bit about this geometry right here. So choosing the face right here. And we can do one more cutting. Control R. Oh, sorry. Let's do the loop cutting right here. And also I want to do the ring cutting and connect the back part and the front part. So I will do twice. Control R for cutting. And then go to the white solid mode. And this time I will turn off the subdivision tools and using the knife tool. And it's better for you to turn on the snap tool and choosing the vertex. Snap the vertex and connect to here. Okay, so now we have the ring. And now let's select the edge right here in the bottom part. Because right now it was separated by another edge, so we will not select all the edge anymore. So let's choosing the bottom area, this part, and delete, choosing dissolve edge. Alright, so pretty much finished. Let's go to the front view, and then go to the vertex mode, choosing wireframe, move. Now we can turn off this one, otherwise it will create a very weird effect. Alright, so now we have this one. And you can turn on your subdivision modifier again. So now let's start to do the detail sculpting. For this part, we can increase 2 more segments. And now let's change. Make this one more like more natures. And also right here, you can create some foldings right here. Okay, looks fine. And also in the middle, I think we need to create one more segment and make this one bigger, just like this. Okay, so now let's choosing the edge selections and press S key for scaling down and move this one up. Okay, so for now the basic geometry I think is pretty much finished. And how about this kind of foldings in right here? Well, that's the things we need to spend more time to do the detail sculpting. And before that, I want to do some final adjustment about our clothes, especially about the upper part. Okay, so first things, let's take a look of the typology right here. So as far as you can see, actually it was a little bit going up. That's because the shape of our leg. So let's move this one up. And for this one as well. Make this one going up. Okay, just like this. And for this one as well, press R and Y, rotate a little bit, and make this one going up. Okay, so now since we already finished this part, let's start to do the detail sculpting about this area. So in order to do that, we need to create more segments. So in probably this part, let's create more. and this part as well. Control R to create one more. Alright, so first things, let's do the just using simple folding in effect to do choosing this one and probably enlarge a little bit and move this one up down and this one as well, choosing that and probably rotate a little bit, R and Y rotations, and this one as well. And press R and Y for rotation and scale up. And for this one, let's do the same trick, scaling down. In order to create enough fold increase, we need to create more segments. So Control R again. R and Y, increase the number segment. So that's nothing special, just increase more and to create a segment effect. And for sure, we can also change the typology because this part basically it won't move that much. So we can choose some certain face, choosing certain faces, and press right click and extrude along normals. Alright, but if you extrude, let's take a look. Well, because right now we are working on the subdivision mode. So once you extrude, it will change the geometry a lot. So we need to do that very carefully. Okay, so just like this, extrusions, normals, and yeah, I think that's okay. Let's just choosing the edge right here. Move this one up. And for these two, and for this face, I want to select them. And press S key for scaling up. Go to the front view. And Control R again. Alright, so more or less we have the basic shape, but probably not in natures, so we still need to do some detail sculpting. Move this one up. Move this one up. Alright. And let's choose in the big faces. Go to the front view, move them down, move them down. Okay, so now it's too long, so we need to move all of them up. Make sure you select all the vertex on the wireframe mode. Go to the solid mode, choosing the front vertex, move them up. Okay, so more or less pretty much finished. Let's choose in the vertex right here. Go to the go to the solid mode. Okay, fairly okay. So for this part, it was a little bit intersected. So let's try to fix that. Scaling down. Okay, so pretty much finished. And for this part, this is the this is the join part there. So we need to move them up, and also probably the bottom part is supposed to be bigger compared to the upper side. So let's move them down. Okay, so that's the thing. Basically, this one is pretty much finished. So the next one, the things we need to do, again, we need to create the inner part so that it will not, well, the model will not go through and make intersections. So let's go to Edit Mode, choosing the edge on the border, scaling down, move them down, and you can press EZ for extrusion. and scaling down. Sorry for that. I think I selected the wrong edge. Let's undo that. Choosing the edge right here. Press S key for scaling down, and press EZZ to move them up. Okay, so this one is pretty much finished. Let's go to the side view, make sure it has the right proportion. Okay, this part actually was a little bit too low. So let's go to the wireframe mode, choosing the vertex right here, move them up. Move them inside, just like this. Okay. Let's go to the 3D view and take a look about the final result. Alright, I think this one is fairly okay. So once you finish this operation, I will just go to the object mode and choose apply. Okay, and you can duplicate one more because usually I will save another one as a backup. And then, since we have already turned off the subdivision modifier, we have already turned off the mirror modifier, we can start to do the operation on only one side. So first thing is I want to scale down a little bit about this part. Okay, and now the things I want to do, go to wireframe mode, go to the face selections, delete the face right here. And now we can start to do the operations. So if you want to make this one more like a broken face, let's just do that. Because for now we don't have enough face, so actually if you want you can just directly apply the subdivisions. And then you can do the detail operations about this side. So it will look more natural compared to before because we have more vertex to control. And for this part as well, let's go to the solid mode and choosing the edge right here. You can move them up and scale up, and then press E and S for extrusions. And now I'm going to create another new folding right here. So let's press E and Z for extrusions. And you can create probably 2 segments right here. So let's try to do this. Just manually control. If it was going inside, that's okay, because we can fix that later. You can press S key or something, but that's okay. I think we'll fix that later. So let's choosing the edge right here, press S key for scaling up, and also for this side, we can select all of them, choosing the vertex, and press S key for scaling up. Alright, so for this part, let's go to wireframe mode, choosing the vertex right here. You can turn on the proportion editings. Okay, so this one is pretty much finished. Let's go to here, and because right now we already apply the subdivisions, so we can use in stretch modes to apply this one, to make the surface more smooth. And also let's go to wireframe mode. I think this part we have to bigger. So let's go to edit mode, choosing the face right here, and turn on the proportion editing. Press S key for scaling up. And also very important to scale up in the Y directions. Make sure the shirt was inside your pants. Okay, so now we have finished the pants. Let's take a look and turn on everything. Alright, so also right here we need to change the shape about your skirt, your jacket. So let's go to wireframe mode and go to edit mode and turn on this one. You still can turn on the proportional editing so that it will affect the area which we have selected. And make sure it was going outside of your and cover your pants. Right, let's take a look. Alright, fairly okay right now. Also here, let's select the side right here. Go to the side view. Alright, so everything was covered, looks fine. Okay, so now we have finished the clothes. Let's start to do the shoes. For the shoes, let's delete the reference model first, and for this one, I'm going to put this one into the reference folder so that we won't see that anymore. Don't forget to save your file. And let's duplicate one shoes here, and let's take a look. So basically, it looks complicated, but actually it was pretty simple. So first things, we have probably 3 different parts: the body of the shoes, and the button of the shoes, and also the rope on the shoes. So that's the 3 different parts we need to do. So how can we do that? Very simple. And again, if you remember, we need to do this kind of detail to make sure everything will go inside and there will be no intersected for the model. So let's start with the simple cube again. Actually, we can apply one more modifier, but it's up to you. Because once you apply one more modifier, it will increase a lot of phase. So let's just using shade smooth and to make everything looks better. Alright, fairly okay. Probably this part could be bigger. Let's turn on this one. Go to tab key, choosing this one. Make this one bigger. Going out. And bigger, move them down. Okay, just like this. Go to the front view. Alright, so now let's start to do the shoes. So again, press Shift A to create a simple cube, scaling down. And now go to the side view. The side view is more important compared to the other thing. So isolate these two things because this part we can do that separately. So this one is not a symmetry one, so I will not using the symmetry operation. So I will not using the mirror modifier anymore. Go to edit mode and let's choosing the face. So first thing is press E and Y for extrusions. I think we can extrude for 3 times, E and Y for extrusions. And for this part we have to do the same things. So press E and Z for extrusions. Okay, and now let's start to do the typologies. Create other segments. Probably right here we need one more, and probably Control B for bevel. Maybe 2 more. Alright, and for this part as well, Control R and then press 2, and S and Z for increase the segment. Okay, so now let's go to wireframe mode, choosing the vertex, and start to do the detail. So first thing is move this one down, And I think we can move this one forward and make this one bigger, just like this. And for this one as well, make this one bigger. For the rest part, I think it's very easy because this part sometimes we will based on my experience, I will use in the iKbone to do a rigging right here. That's probably very unique technique which I used before, but well, I think that's pretty useful if you want to create a knee effect or the movement on your shoes. Well, I think it's a very good one. So I will create more segment in the middle because this part will move. And also right here, we need to change a little bit. So let's change the shape right here. Okay, and for this part, let's change. Okay, and Control R in the center. Go to the top view and enlarge in the X directions. Let's change it a little bit. SX. SX. Actually, you still can use in the symmetry operation because we can change the geometry in the end. But, well, it's up to you. Okay, it's really up to you. We still can use in the symmetry one. So you can Control R, cut in the middle, and then cut off the rest apart. But for this time, I think I will just keep like this. Let's choose in the front part and press S and X to scaling up. And for this one as well SX and scaling up. This part, choosing the vertex right here. Control R for cutting in the middle and moving forward. Okay, just like this. And for the back part, for sure it has to be a round, circular geometries, just like this. Go to the side view. Alright, so pretty much, basically, I think right now we already have a very basic geometries. Okay, so next part, what can we do about the bottom part? Let's select the bottom face. Go to the side, choosing the face right here, and deselect the upper part, and press E and S for extrusion first time, and then E and Z for extrusion second times, and E for S for extrusion third times, and E and Z for extrusion fourth time. Okay, so now we have the basic shape about your shoes. And for sure, it has some different segments. So for this part, it's supposed to be, for the front part and the back part, it's supposed to be more thicker than the other part. So we need to do that. So let's choose in the face of the front part. Let's go to the side view, choosing the face right here, and choosing the face right here. And deselect the rest of the part. Okay, let's leave this part empty. And then go to the side view, press E and Z for extrusions. Okay, so now let's go to the vertex mode, choosing the from vertex, proportion editing. R and X rotations. And you may notice that for this model, I didn't use a subdivision modifier. because usually I prefer to do the basic of low polygon modeling until a certain level, and then I will use the subdivision modifier. And for this one, it's pretty simple. So actually, it's not necessary for me to use in subdivision, but I will use that later. So for this part, let's go to the top view. Sorry, we need to use in the scale rod because we didn't use the mirror modifier, so we need to use in scale to select both sides. Press S and X to scaling down, and also right here, I think this part is supposed to be bigger, so S and X, make this one bigger, this part smaller. Okay, so now let's go to the 3D view. Looks like Mickey Mouse shoes. So I think it's pretty much finished. Let's go to the wireframe mode, move this one down. I created a segment in the middle, but it's up to you. If you don't like this one, you don't need to do that. Alright, so now let's go to the side view and move this one forward. Probably this part could be lower. Alright, just like this. Okay, so now let's go to the face selections, select mode, and I don't need the face right here, so let's just select them and delete face. And also I want to create some detail right here, and just choosing the face right here. This one's supposed to be smaller, so let's press S key for scaling down. And I'm going to use an extrude unknown normals to extrude some thickness right here. Okay, and also right here we need to create some detail, so let's use in the bevel, or let's just do the loop cutting right here. Okay, and right now we need to create a thickness on the border, just like what we did before. So let's choose in the face right here, press E and Z for extrusions, and you can scale down in the middle. And now we need to turn off the proportion editing. Okay, so now let's press Ctrl 1 and let's take a look. Well, fairly okay, I would say. Let's go to wireframe mode, change a little bit about the geometries. Edit mode, choosing the vertex. Move this one bigger, this one as well. Okay, so now final part. For this part. And because this one is supposed to be more flattened, so in order to do that, we need to create more segment on the bottom part. So let's go to Edit mode, Ctrl R for loop cutting, and for this one as well, Ctrl R for loop cutting, and for this one, let's do the same thing, Ctrl R loop cutting, and for this, the upper part, Ctrl R for loop cutting. So anyway, with more loop, you will create a more sharp edge. Okay, so that's the result. So final thing, well, we still can do some detail in the middle, so probably I will try to do that, choosing the face. So the final result will be a little bit different from our reference model, but I would say it looks better. Choosing the face right here. Okay, and then press right click and extrude unknown normals. And right click, extrude along normals. Okay, just create one more face. And for the upper part, let's go to the side view, choosing the wireframe mode, edit mode, choosing the vertex right here, and press S and X for scaling down. And side view, choosing the solid mode, choosing the faces on the bottom, for this side as well. You don't need to worry about it's not symmetry because the shoes is not symmetry at all, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we need to change a little bit based on the shape of the shoes. So let's go to vertex mode and go to wireframe mode. Let's choose in this one, and I think we need to do proportion editing as well. Let's use in R and Z for rotation a little bit. Just like the shape of your shoes. Let's take a look. Okay, the shape of the shoes. Wait for a second. The shape of the shoe is supposed to be like something like this one, right? So we need to make your shoes a little bit bended. So let's choose in the base right here and press R and Z for rotations as well. So okay, just like this. Alright, so pretty much finished. So final part is about the rope on your shoes. So how can we do that? How can we make that one? Well, actually pretty simple. If you remember, we used to do the curve to do the rope. So for this time, we will do the same thing using the curve to do the shoestring. Let's take a look. How to make the shoestring? So again, I will using the curve tools and Bezier curve. Go to the top view, and you can rotate this one R and X for rotation 90 degree, and move this one back. G and Y, move this one back to the right positions, and go to edit mode, and I will press S key for scaling down the handle. And now I'm going to go to the object data property and choosing the geometries, and I will using the change the dips. So probably just a little bit. And also the resolution could be lower, so I will just choosing 2 or 3. Okay, so now let's start to do that. Choosing the handle and move this one to the right positions. And it have to be bent, so we need to move this one down. Right? And also we can rotate this one. Press R and Y. Let's do it again. R and Y to make this one bended. Just like if you have ever used the Illustrator, it's just like the Bezier curve. It's the same logic. So let's enlarge a little bit. Okay, so pretty much finished. And if you think it's not enough, we can choose the curve and choosing subdivide, and you will have more curve and more segment right here. So now we have 3 handle to control. And now I want to turn off this one because this one is a little bit annoying. Okay, let's go to the sheet solid mode. So right now we already have the shoestring. Let's move this one down, and also move this one down. Now let's just duplicate it. Shift D for duplicating, G and Y for copy, and Shift D, G and Y for copy. And I think for this one, well, it looks banal, but I think we have to make some cross section. So I will do Shift D and R and Z for rotations. Shift D, R and Z for rotation. But if I do that, it will create too many faces on our model. So probably we don't need that much. Just press G and Y to create something like that. It doesn't have to be very detailed. And also I want to decrease the dips again. So probably just 0.01 or maybe 0.015 will be quite enough. Okay, just like this. And for detail, it could be 1. Something like that. Let's move the center point to the center and press R and X. R and X rotations. Control L to link the object data so that it will share the same data we have. Let's choose all of them and Control L for link the object data. Where is the last one? Alright. That's okay. Let's move this one down. Go to the top view to adjust the positions. Okay. So now let's select all of them. Go to Edit Mode. Select all the handle right here. Press R and Y for rotations and move them inside. For this part as well, press R and Y for rotation and move them inside. Okay, so basically I think the shoestring has been done, and if you want more detail you can adjust by yourself, but I will just keep the model like this, and I will choose all the shoestring right here and convert them into the mesh. But before that, make sure you have selected the fill caps. Usually I prefer to fill caps. So choosing convert and convert to mesh. So now all these things right here, they have become mesh. And I will join them together. So select all of them, Ctrl J for join. Okay, so now we have the shoes. Let's turn on everything. Don't forget to save your file. Go to the front view and move the shoes to the right positions. Go to the top view and how to copy that. So that just we can do that as well. Change this a little bit about the proportion right here. We can scale it down a little bit because this shoes obviously it was too large for now. So let's scale it down a little bit. And also right here, I think I want to rotate, make this one more flattened. RX more horizontal. Okay, nice. Let's go to the top view. I want to hide the head. Alright, it looks okay for now. So let's just Ctrl A for apply the location. Make this one go back to the center. And Shift D, and we can just type in a negative number so that it will automatically mirror to another side. But make sure turn on the face orientation and check the face, because sometimes when you mirror using this way to mirror things, it will go to the wrong, it will have the wrong direction of the face no more. Alright, so basically let's turn on everything, auto etch, and let's delete the reference model, and let's show this one independently. Turn off the wireframe. Let's take a look. I want to choosing shade auto smooth as well. So now the zombie has pretty much finished. So the last part will be about the leg and the hand. It's the most complicated part, but actually not complete. Well, just follow the progress and it will be okay for you. And also one more thing is, because for now we still have the modifier, including mirror modifier and subdivision modifier. When we are going to do the unwrap UV, make sure you apply all these modifiers so that we will unwrap the right UV, and then we can export them to 3D code and do the texture painting. Okay, so that's the final result for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you next time.